And now I'd like to give you a demonstration of the Falcon X6 software from Mobile Data Technologies. When the operator fires up the screen, this would be the main page that you would see. This is your main monitor. And there's a couple of features that I'd like to show you right off the bat. The first one is up here in the top right where it says displays. There's a 2G, and what you can do is touch that button and it'll actually switch you over to a number of different displays where you can see up to 6 parameters at one time. And if I continue on, I'll actually touch it again here and I can see 1 in a graph, and then of course back to the main, what I saw was 2 in a graph. If I touch any of the boxes, I can switch between any of the sensors that are coming in, and I can also switch between labels as well. I can take PSI, make it KPA, and here I'm just going to put it back to PSI. So now I'm reading pressure 2, and if I want, I can go back in and turn that back to pressure 1 if I want. So I'll touch the box and then it'll bring up my list again and go back and show pressure 1. So it's very easy to switch between boxes. If I want to start a job, all I have to do here is go over to select company, and this is actually going to bring up my list of companies, and in here I have quite a few that I've entered, so these will always stay in your list there. And I hit select and you'll see it turns green. I could also add a new one on the fly, clone, or edit if I needed to. Now once it turns green, I can go back to the main monitor and I can actually hit start. So the start button is now illuminated because I've selected a company. And once I hit start, it tells the program to start recording a job. So now we are recording a dedicated job to this company that we're working for. So in this case, it's Marathon. Now if I drag my finger across the screen, this shows our zooming feature. So zooms right in, and all I have to do is touch the graph, my menu pops down, and I hit reset zoom. Now I can have a couple of different other zoom features. I could go vertical, I could also go 2 axes, and I'll reset the zoom here, and then I can actually show you the third zoom feature, which is actually the horizontal zoom as well. So if I go ahead here and hit reset zoom, that's just going to reset me to the normal view. Now the other feature I have is we can add markers on the fly. That's if you want to throw in an event. So I could show you an example here. We'll just type the word event, and what this will do is we'll actually create a kind of a time log. I'll hit show log here, and what it does is it actually shows that right now there's an event, and I can have a quick zoom here if I want to have a look at it, and then reset back on the zoom, but you'll see the dotted line there. Now if I wanted to, instead of adding one on the fly, and I want to add one maybe back in time or ahead of time here, we'll see there's the pressure is about to rise here. So right now I want to kind of go back in time and say we started a pressure test. So I can go to my recents, I can scroll down here, and I could say run test if I want to. I'll go down to that one, hit save and close, and there's the marker that says I started running a pressure test, and there goes the pressure. So I'll take off the show log, take off the track data, and there's another feature here now. Instead of looking at the entire job, we can actually go hit, and instead of the active job, we can hit the strip chart mode. And what the strip chart mode does is just kind of continues the data on, so you'll see only a 10-second, a 20-second, or a 30-second window. And we can change that to be a 5-minute or a 10-minute window if you wanted. But yeah, so it's quite customizable, but the strip chart mode helps you look at your data, especially on those long jobs. It lets you kind of focus in on the data if you have to look at the graphing. So we'll hit end here, and once I hit end, it actually saves the entire job over in the job history. And you'll see, first thing you see is a list of all the jobs that we just created, or that we have created, and the one that we just did is at the top. And now to create a job report, we just go over here and we go view edit job, and it takes us into the job details page. Now this page is fully customizable. So what that means is any labels that you want to add or take out, you can do so, and we can even add little drop downs if you want. I'm going to go ahead and type in the word test here, and that's just in the notes section, and like I said, those can be customizable. So the next tab that we work on is the graph tab. Now while we were recording every sensor, we may just want to show 1 or 2 sensors, so I'll just hit the x-axis, the first one there, and I'll hit pressure because we definitely want to show our pressure report. There's the graph for that now, and on the right axis I'll hit here, and we could throw the flow rate in, let's say. So put flow rate, hit close. Now I've got my flow rate, which had a little spike in. Again, this is just dummy data coming in, but there's my flow rate and there's my pressure, and then I can go over here and look at the data because those are the only two parameters I'm going to show. Then I hit the job log, and basically I get three variables that I could have seen at any one time during those jobs. So I'll keep the first one at pressure, the second one I'm just changed here to flow rate, and the third one, let's say I just want to hit select no data, I can do that as well. And I can further edit the labels, so it says event and run test. I could have gone in there and hit edit and fix the spelling up if there's any spelling mistakes. But once I'm done, I just go down here and I hit create report. And what it's going to do is go through a series of generating a job report, and basically you'll be able to preview it on the screen before you go ahead and print it or get it off here. When it goes through this last little bar here, we'll be able to close this off and show you what we've created. So just a few simple steps, and your job report's done. So we hit close here in the bottom right, and we'll go back to the job history page, and for that job we can see that there's a tab here called view report. So we go view report, and I'll just zoom in here real quick and show you the first thing that you're going to notice on the top left is that we have a space for a logo. So we'll actually put your logo in there, your company information, and then below the company details is the company that you're doing the work for. So that's their details right there. Contact, location, etc. The job details, this is the fully customizable page that we talked about. So you have a custom report. And as we scroll down, what you end up looking at here, this is the job. This is the graph of the entire job that we did from start to finish. And then the second page, if we continue to scroll, is the job log. So this is going to be the events that we pre-programmed in, or that we added using the event marking. And then we take those events on the next page, this is the third and final page, and what we do is we actually pinpoint them here with dotted lines and the labels underneath them. So your entire job will be kind of laid out on the graph with everything that you did right at the in real time. So there are print buttons. There are print buttons that will go there if you wanted to print from that screen, but just hit close here. And because every computer has a 3G module, we'll actually have the ability to actually email this right from here. So I'll hit the save or email button, and because we pre-entered the company man's email, all I have to do here is select add, and then that tells me I want to add Jim Henry here, and then go down additional email recipients. That's to CC it back to someone at your company, your billing clerk or your supervisor. I'm just going to hit email reports, and it's going to email the report directly right from our system. Now there is going to be sometimes a case where you don't have the cell service, or you don't have any Wi-Fi. So what you can do is you can actually, instead of emailing, we'll take the emails out here, we can actually save it directly to a USB stick. So what happens is you select your main report, and you can even add the CSV report if you want, and you'll hit save to USB, and then you pull the USB stick out of the drive and then hand it to your customer, and you're all done. And that is the Falcon X6 software from Mobile Data Technologies.